Здравейте! Как сте? Готови ли сте да направим панела с нашето великолепно косплей жури? Може ли да ви чуя малко повече? Благодаря ви. Така, ето тук ще видите един светнат микрофон, все едно е звезда. Той липсва. Само изглежда... Там трябва да има микрофон, сигурен съм. Кой го изяде? Принцесе, моля те, смисъл... Другия... Ето го микрофона. По всяко време, когато решите, може да застанете там и да задавате своите въпроси на нашето косплей жури. Сега, моля аплодисменти за Трине. Tine Мария Riis. She is big. И Anhyra. So we can sit, because we are lazy. Are we lazy? Do you want to stand up? No, no. So whatever you have a question about what they are doing and why they are doing it, you can always ask the question over there. There is a microphone. So let's start with something small. Why are you still doing cosplay? It's a question for everyone, so you can answer.
I think it's the community and the creativity. Holding, hello? Oh, hi, sorry, hello there. I think it's the community mainly that we are doing what we enjoy, and it's bringing us all together and celebrating it. And the creative aspect is also a big plus for me, and yeah, it's just truly amazing.
So for you, it's community. Now, oh, okay, that's great. Okay.
It's always difficult to find out who speaks next. So for me, there are many different reasons. I think there are so many reasons to love cosplay. I think the biggest reason for me is I'm a huge nerd and creative, and it's the perfect mix. I have always been making stuff and crafting, so cosplay is just very natural to me. I love to create, I love to sew. I can never see myself stopping. And meeting people who are also creative and nerdy is amazing. So that just makes me want to cosplay even more. So
I have a question. Which is your most nerdy part of you?
oh, I don't know. Both equal. Both crafting and video games and movies and stuff. I would say
okay.
both. Yeah, equal.
Cool.
I think we all share like the same motives to keep doing costumes. For me, it's like trying new techniques all the time, like trying to be a better crafter, because each new project allows me to try different things that I've never done in the past. And as a creative person, for me, that's very motivational. So I really enjoy like facing new challenges. And also, as they said, like meeting new people, having fun with the nerds, because we all are nerds. It's really fun.
Oh, we already have a question. Oh, we don't hear you. Try again.
Echo? Okay. I wanted to ask because I personally find it hard. How do you decide what material to use for the quoting?
That's a great question. I love trying new materials, but of course it needs to make sense for the cosplay. What I do is that I like to, of course, look at the reference pictures first to try and see if I can tell what material the costume part is made of. Like if it's leather, it's usually pretty easy. Okay, then I can use either real leather or fake leather. But sometimes, especially with video games, if they're older especially, you have no idea what material it is because the graphics are not very good. Then I usually try to take reference or inspiration from other people, see what they have used, and then, especially if it's fabric, I go to my local fabric store so I can see them in person, I can touch them, I can see how they look in the different lights, I can see how they fold, and then I just try to see, okay, I think this will work best. So it's a bit of a combination of different steps for me, but I like to see the materials I'm considering in person. So that's how I do it, at least.
I think it's also very important, especially the first time that you are making a costume, to start with some cheap materials, because you can make really good stuff out of cheap materials. And after you get some experience, try to go for the ones that are a bit more expensive, because at the very beginning we all fail a lot of times. So it's better to do that with something that is not very pricey.
Very much the same as my KO judges here. I usually like to research the character a lot before I start crafting. Do I want to start with the most difficult thing first so I don't burn myself later and end up in con crunch, for example? It's usually best to start with the difficult ones for me. But also I really prefer going to the store and also feel the different fabrics, like you said, and also try different kinds of foam. Like before I started with like paper clay, and now we have other materials that we can progress in. So you want to sculpt, find a cheaper material first, and then advance in that, as Anhyra said. So it's very much the same process, yes.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Come to the light.
Is it working? It's
Yes.
working. Okay. My question is, have you ever cosplayed someone who's much shorter or taller than yourselves? And if you have, how do you deal with that, basically?
I did 1,000 times. I have done like big monsters costumes, and when you do something like that, you have to do it in a way it looks proportional. Like you have to fit inside, but it also needs to look proportional as the character. So for me, it's easier to build the shapes over a mannequin. And sometimes I use even like a newspaper paper just to build the shape. And then after that, I make my patterns and I make the big thing over my body, trying to fit inside, but also trying to achieve the shape of the monster or the big armor that I'm trying to make.
But if you make someone which is smaller than you, what are you doing?
I've never done anything like that, but I get that you can maybe, I don't know, for example, if you are making like a dwarf or something like that, maybe you can try to squat a little bit. I don't know, I have no idea. I've never tried something like that. Okay. I don't know if you have tried something.
I tried, I was a Dryad Soraka 10 years ago, and she's a very tall fawn. So what I did is that it was not the best solution, but it's a fun story. So I sewed off the heels of some shoes, platforms, and then I carved wood and drilled that on top of that to give me the extra height. And of course, it looked cool, but when you're altering stuff like that, you have to think about your health, your knees, and what other body parts might suffer in the process, right? So it's usually nice to try a few tests if you can when you're trying to alter your height, especially. See if walk around with it for a bit to see if it fits, or do you have to add some metal things in the back so you can actually, you know, walk as a fawn. There's many different techniques you can do, but remember, once you've added that layer of height, you have to think about your other limbs as well, what is going to suffer. So that's also something to take into consideration when you're altering, especially your height, your other parts, yeah.
Thank you.
So I cosplayed 2 years ago, last year, I don't remember. I did Mesmer the Impaler from Shadow of the Earth Tree, Elden Ring. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. He's a very, very tall, very skinny man. And I am sort of tall, but I'm not a super skinny snake man. So what I did, it was for a photo shoot. It was not for a cosplay that I was supposed to wear walking around. And I knew that from the beginning. That made it easier for me, because what I decided to do was to make my legs look longer. For example, I made his skirt thing a little bit shorter, so it looked like my legs were longer. And I made his leg armor slightly shorter as well, so the part of my leg that you could actually see seemed longer. And I did very heavy makeup to look very skinny, to look like a man, to look pale. Makeup can do wonders, of course. I also did some makeup on my legs and on my arms to make them look more skinny. And then when we did the photo shoot, I made sure to get some angles, mostly from down, so it looked like I was taller than I actually was. So for a photo shoot, it can be really smart to think about your proportions and the character, and try to take pictures in a way that will make you look more like the character. Exactly. So if you're supposed to look very small, you can take the pictures from above. Exactly. You know. Yeah. So that was my interesting experience with that cosplay.
Excellent. Okay, thanks very much.
No problem.
I have a question for everyone. My question is, what was your first time competing on stage with what costume? And how did you feel? Were you stressed? Were you anxious?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I do clearly remember the first time I was competing. I already struggled back then and now with social anxiety, so that was something that was very difficult for me because I got in my head a lot, started overthinking, and I'm not gonna lie, after I got off stage I started crying. But I learned quickly that the people who are there with you, the community, we're all here together and people are so supportive, and I had to teach myself that if it's not fun, it's not even worth doing for me. And yeah, so that's what made me scared to compete to begin with, because I thought it was so serious, but we're here all together celebrating the craft and the love for the character. So what I did is that I reached out to other contestants and made some new friends, and we gave each other feedback, and it was just a truly wonderful experience. Although it was horrific in the start, it turned into something wonderful after. So that's what I'm really grateful for, that we're all here and we're supporting each other.
It was a bit similar for me because I also was very anxious and I had panic about just about thinking of being on the stage. And for me, it was like a personal challenge, trying to be more confident and trying to gain some self-esteem just from being on the stage. And I chose Commander Shepard as my first costume. And I was also super nervous on the stage when I did my performance. But after that, as Tine said, it's really nice to meet all the people on the backstage. You make a lot of friends in there. So even if it's an experience that it might be a bit scary, then you find a lot of support all around you. And that's really warm and welcoming. So it makes you try again and again. And then one day, suddenly, you lose a bit that fear of being on the stage. And you get more confidence the more times you do it. So it's just a matter of keep doing it.
So in my head, I kind of have two first competition experience. One was only craftsmanship and one was performance and craftsmanship. My very, very first one was only craftsmanship. For me, that was no problem. All I had to do was get on the stage. I was proud of what I made. I think the prejudging went well. I was a bit nervous, but it was fine. I was having a good time. I just had to stand there, look cool, and go down. So for me, that was no problem. I was super nervous, however, when I did my first performance costume or competition. I am used to doing musical theater when I was a kid. I am used to being on stage in general. But even though I did acting when I was younger, I was so nervous, like I've never been before in my adult life. It did not go exactly as I wanted on stage. I ended up crying when I got back down. Somehow I still ended up winning, but to me, in my mind, it was a complete failure. I was, again, super nervous. What really helped me was that I had people in the back to comfort me, to support me, make sure that I drank water. So they are very different experiences for me. And what I learned is that if I'm ever going to do a competition with a performance, I need people to support me. Luckily, I almost always have that. But yeah, to me, now I know that is where I'm the most nervous. So yeah, I was super nervous for that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
Next question. Hello.
Which of your cosplays was most easier or most harder to do?
Super quick answer. The easiest, I think, is this one. A lot of the things I just bought online on a Vinted app. I don't know if you have it here, but it's where you buy thrift store items, but in an app. I just modified a few things, and I love to make things sturdy. I'm used to that, so for me, this was the easiest. The hardest was my hustle armor, because it took me 8 months. So Yeah.
Yeah, mine easy one was, many maybe have gone there, but I was Misty from Pokemon, was my easiest one. Have a little Psyduck plushie. But I think the hardest for me must have been between Severe and Zelda, because I didn't really make big gowns back in the day, so it was a big learning process, many meters of fabric, a lot of different details that I was not used to, a lot of trial and error. I had to put it aside for a little while because I felt like giving up, because it didn't work no matter how hard I tried. So it's always nice to put it aside for a little bit, and then you can take it up again and try again. And I learned so much from it, and it was a good experience overall, although I was very angry at some point. But I would say it had to be Zelda from Ocarina of Time.
For me, the easiest one was also this one, because this is my original design, so I was able to do whatever I wanted. And it started as a more simple costume, but then after some time wearing it at a convention as a comfortable costume, especially for hot days like today, I kept adding some more details. So, I mean, I just have fun like adding more stuff to it, but as it doesn't have a reference, I can do whatever I want, so that's very easy. And the most complex that I did was my Crisanta armor from Blasphemous. It's a Spanish video game, and it's a huge armor with a helmet that is like 1 meter and 35 centimeter long, which is huge, and it's all full with ornaments and small details all over the armor. And it took me almost 2 years to finish that. It was a side project, but I took my time, and it was almost 2 years working on that costume. So that was definitely the hardest one that I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, we don't see you.
Hello.
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 What's a question for everyone? What's your funniest cosplay?
Our funniest?
Yeah.
Oh, what is your funniest cosplay? For me, this one.
I also have that one. I was planning to bring it here, but then after I was missing some pieces and I didn't. But that's also the funniest one that I have. The baguette. It's super nice. Expedition 33 is so nice.
Yeah.
I have to say a Razor Rosalina from Mario Kart, because we also have a whole princess group, and it's we made a rainbow road, like there's a rainbow road fabric, and it shines, and we're just being still in it, and it's fun and easy to move in, and I love Mario, so it gives me nostalgia every time. So yeah, Razor Rosalina.
Thank you, thank you. I'm Mario.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm not Peach though.
For a second there, I had no idea what to answer, but I remembered this one cosplay I did once because I wanted to make Maleficent from Mistress of Evil, the second Maleficent movie, the newer ones. There is a picture from backstage when they were filming this movie where you see, is it Angelina Jolie? Who is playing Maleficent? What's her name? Is it?
Angelina?
Angelina Jolie, sorry. The person playing Maleficent. There's a picture of her backstage wearing her headpiece, which is like with these horns and stuff, super cool. She's wearing sunglasses and a white bathrobe. And it is so nice. She's just standing in the background like this. And she's with the main actor who plays Aurora. And I was like, I want to make Maleficent's outfit, the finished one. But I didn't have time, so I had only finished the headpiece. And I never finished the rest of the costume, but I did this where I took a white bathrobe, sunglasses, and her headpiece, and I was walking around the con because it was in the summer, and I was dying of heat even though I wasn't wearing a full cosplay. I think that's my funniest cosplay, but I think it's also my only fun cosplay, and I had a great time wearing it, actually. I'm happy that you reminded me.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
My question is there any character you wanted to do a cosplay, but you haven't done that? And if it's not secret, who is that character?
I've had this as a dream for a long time, but I'm still figuring out how to make myself taller, as we were talking about earlier. But it is Omnimon from Digimon. Yeah, okay, yay! I'm happy to hear there's Digimon fans here. I just love Digimon so much, and it's something completely different from what I usually do. I just want to be a giant mecha Digimon, and it is truly my dream cosplay. Thank you.
I think for me it's Blade from Elden Ring. I really want to make that furry face of the wolf and all that. And I'm planning it for the next year and I hope it works, but I've never done anything like that. So I will need to figure out how to make it and try and make mistakes until I get the final version for sure.
I think for me, it will probably be Link from Twilight Princess, which is my favorite game of all time. The thing is that I already did this cosplay like 9 years ago, and I was very happy with it. I want to remake it though and do it justice, like do it really well. The thing is that this character, Link, is so close to my heart and means so much to me that I want to do it as perfectly as possible. And I'm not a man, and I'm not very good at makeup, so I don't know if I can do the look properly. And that kind of scares me, so I really want to make it, but I am nervous that I would not be happy with the results. But Link from Twilight Princess is the one that I really want to make, but I'm scared.
Thank you.
Hello, I have only one question. What inspired you to start cosplaying?
For me, it was loving a character. I was playing, it was 12 years ago. I was playing Mass Effect, and I was obsessed with the character, with Commander Shepard, and I really liked that game that much that I really wanted to portray her. So that gave me the motivation to start doing cosplays.
I was randomly Googling in my teens and I found a picture of my favorite character that was being cosplayed, and I was like, I want to do that too, and stumbled upon it like that, and already loved being creative, already a geek, and also did some ballet back in the day, so it kind of came together naturally, just like with Trine here. So it was very random actually that I stumbled across it, but I'm very grateful that I did.
It's the exact same for me as Tina. I've always been creative, I've always been sewing, and my very first cosplay ever was Kakashi from Naruto. And I did it honestly just because I didn't know cosplay was a thing. I just wanted to sew, and I thought Kakashi was cool, and then I just did it. So it was super random, out of the blue, yeah.
Did you have 3 masks? Yeah, okay.
Hi. First of all, I just wanted to say your cosplayers are lovely today. I love all of them. You guys do look beautiful. And my question to all of you is, through your whole cosplay career, have you ever dealt with a creative block, and how did you deal with it to get out of this hellhole?
I think trying to have something else than like cosplay for a little, like doing something else, taking a little break, detoxify a bit. I also, whenever I took a break, I just started doing creative things on a different aspect, not cosplaying. I started testing out things, trying to find new techniques, something that felt rewarding when it became too much when I took a break. But I always ended up like missing the community all in all, so I didn't really want to take like a break. But I found the inspiration by attending events again and seeing other people competing, seeing people on stage here, for example, today really inspired me to do more. So when I have like a creative block, I tend to turn on cosplay music videos on YouTube, watch other competitions, and just try to like put things aside for a bit and do something else with my creative talents, for example. Yeah.
For me, it's a bit of the same thing, and also sometimes it helps me to start playing a video game that I've been wanting to play like for so long, and I never had the time because I was doing other things. And then suddenly I saw a character design that I really love, and maybe the video game inspires me to keep making stuff. But for me, it also helps to watch movies, to listen to music, or to be a bit away of the crafty part of the hobby, and maybe just go for a walk in the wood or hiking or stuff like that, that makes my mind a bit more clear and also trying to relax a little bit out of the cosplay. And after that, like finding another ways of inspiration, like, I don't know, finding a nice book that I like and maybe some character will inspire me to do a new costume or a video game or something like that.
Last year, actually, I hit a creative block. Right towards the end of the year, I was just so burned out, I didn't want to do anything. I decided not to do anything creative or cosplay related for the entire month of December. And then during January, that is usually where, okay, people start preparing for the new year, for con season, you start getting invited to events. And that helped to kind of take that break and then slowly get back into it along with the community, because I feel like most people are taking a bit of a break during winter. But ultimately what always gives me more motivation is trying new materials and techniques. I cosplay because I love to craft. I don't really care so much about actually wearing the cosplay. Like, it's cool and I like being the character, but for me it's like, oh, it's sweaty and I'm not comfortable. I just want to sew, I just want to paint. So trying new things is what makes my heart pound. So whenever I do some research, like what's the newest thing people are working with? What's the newest material that's out there? That really inspires me. And then I find a cosplay where I can implement these new techniques and new materials. And then I'm like, okay, let's go. I can't wait until I start working on it. So that's what gets me fired up.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a little one. Hello. What's your name?
My name is Robin, and I have just one question. It is, what costume have you wished to make your whole life?
What is your dream cosplay?
I think I already made my dream cosplays. So, yeah, for me, probably my favorite one was Chrysanta from Blasphemous. And I wanted to make it for some time, and I did it after that. So I was very happy when I finished it.
Yeah, the dream cosplay of all time. Yeah, I think I still have to stick with Omnimon. It's been on my list for the longest time, and it's gonna be like my biggest thing that I want to make. So if you see Omnimon, if you search it up, it's quite a difficult design, but also there are so many different techniques I would want to implement into that. So I'm still sticking with my Digimon boy.
For me, I don't know if this is really possible the way I want it to look, but I just want to be a dragon. I love dragons. I have a huge four-legged dragon tattoo on my back, like the European dragons with 4 legs and wings. I've always loved dragons so much. Right now, I'm making kind of a dinosaur suit in the background, which only has 2 legs and no wings, of course, so it's kind of in the dragon area, but someday, I don't know if it will ever happen or if it's possible, but I want to just be a dragon.
I'm ready to be one of the foods. Okay, so we have time for only 2 more questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a little bit maybe of a harder philosophical question, and it's how do you feel about the recent uprising of the cosplay videos? Not only in the cosplay music video sense, but like cosplay video championships. Do you think it's possible for the cosplay to leave the indoor stages and actually be on set in action? And do you think there's development in that thing?
Can you repeat?
So
Sorry.
what do you think about cosplay videos that are getting wider range right now? Are they having a chance to be in the movie sets and things like that in the future?
Especially since there are now competitions about cosplay videos. Specifically, yes.
So do you mean like there's a competition, and this competition you can win if you make a video or kind of like a movie with cosplays?
Yes.
Okay. So they did this, I believe, for WCS when there was COVID. They did the movie or the video. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, also at BlizzCon.
If it's good enough for film, maybe not right now. I mean, unless you're really talented, because making a movie requires so many things: lighting, sound design, costumes, of course, acting, makeup. Like, there's so many things. So I think you would need a big team of very skilled people, and you would need a lot of time. It could probably be done, but I think it requires a lot of things to work together. But I do think that a lot of cosplayers are becoming so skilled and so knowledgeable that they could definitely work on film sets and make costumes for production, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, I've seen some cosplayers like actually making like short films with their costumes, maybe not a big production like an hour film, that maybe would be crazy. But I think there's people like that enjoy experimenting that kind of art. It's also another way of doing cosplay. And also, I remember during the pandemic, BlizzCon also hosted like a video contest about cosplay. So sometimes some conventions or some events decide to do that kind of competitions, and it's another way of showing different skills and crafting skills, and I think it's very, very nice.
It's the same as Trine and Anhyra here. I've also seen cosplay being used in music videos and so on, and it will take a big team if you want that high professional quality, as Trine said. There is light, there is other people, there is sound. So if you have all of that together, of course you don't need a full-on professional team, but if you want that level of quality, you would need one. But I've seen also people just record with their phone and DJI and try to be creative about it with a little light, and then they end up fixing it in After Effects, it's called, and edit the lights there. So I think it's all based on the result you want and what you want to do with that,
Thank you.
Hi.
Oh.
Yeah. I just want to add something from the previous question. I have film industry background, so you can be in music videos, films, series, and commercials as a cosplayer. But my question is for you, as a fellow cosplay judge. I'm judging right now most of the Croatian cosplay competitions. Do you have some tips and tricks how to judge something, what to look like, or what would you add on the list?
I really love judging. Surprise. What I usually do is that I look for quality. And quality is, for me, the top priority. But it needs to go together with the amount of techniques, in my opinion. That's usually what you look for, at least when it's craft-based. I would say craft-based competitions is where I excel, I guess. So I look first at the overall quality, like, is it well made? And then I look, okay, is there only one technique? Like, is everything just sewn in a very basic way? Or did they also do something with warbler? Did they also style a wig? And then I go back, kind of, and I look at, okay, how is the quality on the wig then? How is the quality on the warbler? How is the quality on the foam? And that, it can be super difficult to keep all of these things in mind, but that gives me an idea of where to place them compared to others, because those are my, at least what I'm thinking right now, those are my two most important things. How much are they proving they can do, and can they actually do it well? That's my top priority.
Okay, thank you.
Pretty much said it all. Yes, and the proportions and how they fit to you, for example. And for me, it's also like the finish of it and all the different materials used. And it also, when it comes to stage, I also look at what they really use the stage a lot. So have their props. Is the props being used well? The interactions with the audience, with the judges, like the good use of the stage. But when it comes to prejudging, as Trine said, it's basically all of the different elements and the fit of the cosplay. And if you also did something unique, that's also something I'm specifically looking for, something unique you've done for your cosplay, and you're talking about it. And I think also that's a good thing to do, is that you talk about the things you are proud of as well in cosplay. Don't worry about if there's something you're not happy with. You don't have to tell us. Tell us about what you're proud of, right? And then, I think that's pretty much it for me.
I think it's hard to add anything to all that you said, because you talk about
Sorry.
everything. No, it's okay, it's okay. And I fully agree with both of them. And an advice that I can give you as a judge. I've been judging so many competitions in the past, and sometimes we need to judge a lot of contestants, like today, more than 60 people, it's crazy. So for me, it's very helpful to take photos during the prejudging, of course, asking for permission first to the contestants. So we can, I mean, because we only have 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to talk to them, and taking photos and having some time later to check on them, it also helps us to be nice judges, because we can check the small details that maybe we didn't see because we were listening to the contestants. So that way, it's another way of confirming that our decision is okay with our criteria as judges.
And also, do you take some notes or something like that when you are on a prejudging?
Yeah, that's also very helpful, taking notes and scoring, of course, the participants, depending on the criteria of each competition. And also for me, it's very important to take photos so I can make sure that I have everyone in mind the moment I'm giving points, or the moment I am reviewing all the contestants, so I don't forget about anyone, because sometimes there's so many people that it can be easy to forget about someone, so it's better to keep everyone in mind, like with the photos and with the list of contestants, and also with the notes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This is for our panel, so big applause for our jury. And for your questions.